What's good, betting world? It's your boy Vegas Doe coming at you. Late night cake, right? Let's make this show. Sorry about the late night update. I had a couple situations. I had to, stay at work a little bit longer or whatnot. No excuses. We making it happen, Captain. All right, I got a few picks that I seen. Actually, the spreads changed. A few heavy bets came in, so that always moved the line a little bit. We are getting closer to the games. A few injury reports popped up, but nevertheless, let's get to this check. See, this is the blueprint to the blue chips. Let's get it. Week 1, game number 1, we got the Jags facing off in London against the Chicago Bears. Now, look. I know everybody was riding the Bears at first. They was kind of high. They was sipping the Caleb syrup. You feel me? They was sipping on the Caleb syrup. I know how it gets. You get a little high sometimes after a couple wins. But I'm going to be honest. I'm going with the Jags. I'm not going to go too heavy in this game. I don't really like London games and, everything that's outside the United States. It's always a toss-up. Anything can happen. But I will say this. The Jags have been playing a little bit better. Just a smidget. They do need this game right now a little bit more than the Bears need it. And the Jags also have a great record in London. And mark my words, I will not be surprised if the NFL go global and then London is the first team to have a team, and it's probably going to be the Jags. So with that being said, I'm going to put just a smidget of the bag on the Jags. You welcome to do what you want. I'm not feeling too heavy about this game, so if I do anything, I keep it light, keep it right. I'm running with the Jags. That's my pick. Next game we got coming up, we got the Commanders traveling out to Baltimore to see what them Ravens talking about. Now, the spread is Ravens -6.5, and the over-under is 51. This game has potential to be a lot better than a lot of people think. But I do think, okay, we got a rookie quarterback. He's been showing out. He's been doing his Dougie. He's been doing his thing, holding it down. He can run with the ball. He's definitely a playmaker. I'm pretty sure he probably going to try to show up and show out a little bit. He playing against another quarterback that got similar skills as, a veteran quarterback. So he going to try to show up and blow up a little bit. But I do know that the Ravens, they ain't been playing up to potential. They got all the pieces that they need on offense, but their defense been a little suspect. They've been letting some teams score on them, even a couple teams that shouldn't have scored on them. And I've been like, I don't know what's going on. They got a lot of new pieces in Baltimore, and I believe they got some new coaching going over there. So sometimes it takes a little time to settle into the season, but with all reasons due to the fact, I'm looking at this game and I'm like, at 6.5, you pretty much say it's a touchdown. I'm probably gonna leave this game alone. I might put it in a teaser, and if I'm gonna put it in a teaser, I'm gonna definitely take the points. I mean, it's just screaming to take the points, and it's about a touchdown. So I probably tease the Commanders down till probably about. Let's see, probably about like 13 and a half, make it like a 6.5 point teaser or something like that. Put it in a teaser. Or, if you like the Ravens, I would say just tease the Ravens. Either way, I feel like it has potential to be a close game. On the flip side of things, though, the Ravens kind of should blow them out. On paper, they have the better defense. They have the more experience. They have the more cohesiveness because they got more players from last year playing this year. So with that being said, they got the veteran quarterback, they got the veteran head coach. They should definitely win this game easily. But that rookie, he a joker though. He a wild card. So you got to factor him in. So with that being said, I would advise maybe teasing one way or the other. Me, myself, personally, I'm going to tease on the Commanders. I will let you know what team I'm going to be teasing them with, but right now that's my first leg on one of my teasers. And what I am looking at, though, is that over 51. I really like that over. I really, really like that over. Because how I look at it is both teams are going to be looking to score. Even if they get the lead, they both understand that when you got quarterbacks that can run, they can make plays, and both of them could throw. So, they can score, bam, 6, fast. So they're going to keep their foot on the pedal. Then if it's a tight game, that's really going to encourage them to keep the foot on the pedal. If it's a tie or if it go to overtime, I really feel like this game got a lot of potential to go over. This is one of my over picks for the week. So I'm a little bit heavier on the over, and I'm real light on the Commanders. So I'm just going to tease the Commanders. That's my pick. Teasing the Commanders over 51. Next game, another very interesting game on the morning slate. We got the Cardinals traveling over to Green Bay. Cheeseheads. Let's see what they're going to do against the spread. Now, me, myself, personally, I feel like Green Bay should whoop them up roster-wise on paper. But like I said, Kyler Murray, he another one of them jokers. You never know what kind of game he going to have. If Kyler Murray goes off, this game is going to be a lot better and a lot closer than people think. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals win by 2 or 3. So, I mean, me, myself, personally, like I said, that's going to be another leg to one of my teasers. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the Cardinals and the Commanders in a teaser. I'm going to keep it light and right. We're going to go ahead and move that to 12 points. Cardinals plus 12. And we'll have the Commanders at 13. So we have the Commanders plus 13, Cardinals plus 12. Yeah, I'm really liking that right now. Another thing that I like as far as a straight up bet, this over under is at 47. Green Bay has a good defense. Now, I'm not really too worried about the Cardinals offense besides they sputter at points. Do I think they will be able to put up a couple scores? Yes. Have they not been scoring so high in the last few games? Yes, but they've been making the games really good. So with that being said, I'm looking at this 47. I'm like, 23 and 23 make 46. Should I buy a point? Maybe we looking at like a 24-21 game. You feel me? I'm like, nah. I'm thinking about if it's tight like that, I'm thinking it's probably going to go over. So this game, I like the over. I like it to be real tight. In the second half, it might start off kind of slow, or it might have points where the game slow down a little bit. But each one of these teams, offensively, they could put up some points. Green Bay, decent defensively, they can make some stops. At the same time, I don't think they're going to be able to hold Kyler Murray the whole game, especially in garbage time. Like if Green Bay winning by like two touchdowns, or maybe they winning by 17 or something like that, I like the Cardinals to score a couple garbage points in the last minute, because Green Bay know they got the win, and then they'll let them score and then just run the clock out. You feel me? So with that being said, I'm going with the Cardinals as a teaser leg to match up with the Commanders. And as far as my straight up bet, I'm liking the over 47. But I'm going to buy a point and make it 46. It's going to cost me a little bit, but I feel like it'll give me a little bit of cushion just in case the defense show up a little bit in Green Bay. All right. Let's get to it. One of my games that I really, really like, I hope it don't be an upset alert, but I don't feel like it. The Texans at the Patriots, and the Texans are favored by 7 points. Texans -7. I'm feeling them Texans. I'm feeling like the spread did go up from 6 to 7. No surprise to me. So I know that might shy a few people off. I know a few people actually might buy back on the Pats, and buy a point and then have a little extra cushion on the Pats, which is not a bad idea. Me, myself, personally, I'm feeling them Texans. I'm looking at the roster. I like the roster. I like the offense. I like the receivers. I like the running back. I like the O-line. We already know CJ could show up and blow up and go crazy on them. I just feel like he been trying to get gelled and get on time with all of his new weapons. It's like, you already got bars, but you got a brand new car. It's a brand new Ferrari. You got to get used to how to sliding and gliding that thing a little bit. So I feel like they've been kind of keeping it easy with the offense. The offense definitely could have a higher performance with the weapons that they got around them, with Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and all them boys. They get real serious. They get the business. Now on the Patriots side, I don't know who they're going to throw the ball to. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know who their receivers are. So, and that tells you a lot. Now they do got a couple good running backs. Your boy Stevenson out of Las Vegas, he a dope little running back. He dropped the rock a couple times this season. Now that but I feel like he's still a really good, solid running back. But other than that, what they gonna do? This D-line, this D-line gonna get after him. These linebackers go crazy. We ain't even got to talk about Stingley and them in the DBs. And, they going to have a little bit easier of a game. So I expect them boys to play nice and tight and right, keep the windows real small for Drake May, and let them, run in and see what this NFL is really all about. I know the young kid coming in and everybody's excited about him. He might throw up a garbage touchdown in the end or something like that. But the more I think about this, I'm like, man, the Texans should handle this. Really should go handle it. I know they playing in New England. It's early, whatever. Man, CJ and them, go see Peg with them. Go get on their neck and get this check. My pick is definitely heavy on the Texans. I would suggest buy a point. So that way, if the garbage come in late, they let the rookie quarterback feel a little hyped about a little garbage touchdown at the end of the game when they already got the lead. Or at least you got a little cushion room. And 7 is a high spread this season. A lot of teams ain't been covering over 7. It used to be 10, 12, 15 was a high spread. 13, spreads like that. This season, it's a lot tighter. Anything can happen with the kickoff switches and the changes when the penalty calls and everything. The game's changed a little bit. So even though this is a tight high spread, I'm going to go ahead and rock with them Texans. Next game, we got the Bucks at the Saints. Baker, let's do it. Now the Saints coming in with a backup quarterback. And I'm going to be honest, even with Derek Carr, even though the Saints are at home, I know they put up a couple, big number games in the first couple weeks. They played the Panthers when they had the other quarterback in. He wasn't doing much for them. And then they beat up on another team. They put up a good fight on the Cowboys, lit them up. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, when they play good teams, they ain't been doing much. They ain't been doing all that. They played the Eagles. They ain't scored that much. They played the Falcons, and the Falcons, I feel like, they're pretty good, but, it's better teams out there. And I feel like the Bucks is, they're a little bit more consistent in certain places. So I'm going to go ahead and rock with the Bucks. Now, it's showing in some places -3, some places 3.5. By the morning, I expect this to be -4. So I'm just going to put it -4 at the video. But either way, I still like the Bucks to go in there and get the chicken. Listen, Baker Mayfield finna show up and light him up, and don't let him get hyped up. He gonna start going crazy. I'm trying to tell you. People be sleeping on Baker. Baker go crazy though on the low. Saints got some defense. They can run the ball with Kamara, but I'm just looking at it, and they don't just got that flame no more. They don't play with that spark. They don't play with that heart the whole game. Now, when they winning, yeah, they play with a little confidence, but as soon as the pendulum switches, I see them start to, lose that confidence. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my money with the Bucks -4. Next game, we got the Eagles -9 versus the Browns. The Browns going to Philly. I don't know what to make out of the Browns. The Browns been tripping all season. Last season, Browns were money. Money in the bank. Even if they didn't win, they was covering the spread and bringing in the yen. But this season, for whatever reason, it's been a little bit different. I think it does have a lot to do with, all the in and out injuries. They did lose a couple pieces in the offseason. And then people underrate how crazy Chubb go. Chubb is a train. When he on track, you got to get out of his way, man, because he coming through chugging. I'm trying to tell you, he running everything over. Nobody want to get in front of Chubb. You see even linebackers making business decisions. But Chubb ain't been there. Then they let your boy slide off to Kansas City, Kareem Hunt. And Kareem Hunt, I guess he was, a little banged up or whatever, but Kareem Hunt is a dog. Like, he runs the ball really hard. He's an old school type running back. He does get elusive and he can't catch the ball a little bit. So they let him go. So they've been having problems with, with the run game. We already know Deshaun is, but he's been trying to play a little bit better. But I just feel like, outside of Amari Cooper, they ain't really been doing much this season. And then the defense is banged up a little bit. My boy coming off the edge, he's got ankle injuries. So I'm just like, yeah, man, it's not really looking too good for Cleveland this year. Now the Eagles, they have a great roster. And I'm not just saying this because I'm an Eagles fan. I am an Eagles fan. Go Birds, go. But, I go money first. Twan Doe by this dough. I'm looking at this game and I'm like, the Eagles haven't really been blowing nobody out. They've been winning games. They've been putting up nice numbers here and there. But Jalen been turning the ball over. Our defense, they had a few good games. They had a few good stops and some very pivotal moments. But they still are a little shaky back there. They still miss a lot of open field tackles. They don't gang tackle. And now I'm kind of starting to think maybe it's not only are they physically not inclined to make all these open field tackles and having the right technique when they come to these tackles, but I think it has a lot to do with the defensive scheme that's going on too, because they like to widen our defense out. So with our defense being wide, it makes it hard for us to rally to the ball, and I don't like that. So you see points and first downs that really shouldn't be happening sometimes, but our defense is always put in a position to where we rely on single man open field tackle. And in this high level of athleticism, it can't always work like that. You got to have 11 hats to the ball. With that being said, I'm looking at this game and I really don't want nothing to do with neither one of them, as far as betting. So I'm going to just go ahead and skip on over that. Chargers and Broncos, let's get it. We got your boy Justin Herbert coming back. And the Broncos coming in with some good defense. But I don't know too much about their offense. That's where I look at both these teams. I'm like, okay, I know both of y'all got really, really good defenses. Y'all both are, got hard-nosed coaches. Y'all don't give up a lot of points. But at the same time, I'm like, what are y'all doing offensively? I know both teams like to run the ball, which against these hard-hitting, heavy type defenses, I don't see a lot of progress coming out of that. Here and there play action, but it's going to have to be some better scheming going on for some points to generate out of this game. So with that being said, I'm looking at this game. I kind of feel like even as low as it is, The under is the best bet, but I'm like, you looking at a 37-point game, 36 points, man, that's nothing in a pro football game. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and skip over that game. I want nothing to do with it. All right. And next game coming up, Steelers -3 at the Raiders. Let's get this bread. Let's get this dough. Your boy Vegas dough ready to make his choke. I've been sleeping on this game all week. And I've been like, The Raiders got great defense, but I've been noticing they've been getting irritated with the offense because the offense can't produce. So what happens is spiritually you start to just give up after a while. Like, what are we doing all this for? So they come out real heavy in the first half, but if they catching the business a little bit and they offense ain't producing nothing and they ain't getting home as much as they would like to, this game could kind of get ugly. Now that Steelers defense is really something to be dealt with. Now the Raiders do have the offensive pieces as far as receivers to give them a problem, but they don't got the quarterback in to get to the receivers. So I'm feeling like TJ Watt finna have him a game. You already know what I'm saying, man. He finna go off the chain. He finna come to Vegas, get real busy. I know he gonna want to show out because that other joker on defense ain't no joke neither. Raiders got them a pass rusher too. So I know they gonna try to show up and show each other out. But now that Pittsburgh Steelers got a lot of weapons. I like them. I like their corners. Their corners are decent. I definitely like their safety play. Linebackers are definitely decent, definitely against the run. They know how to stop the run. Now, and that D-line, they get after you. They get after you. They get after you. They coming to play the buffet line, and they coming to eat. So don't even sleep on them. I'm trying to tell you now where I feel like it could get shaky. How are the Steelers going to play Justin Fields? I feel like the first few weeks, they've been a little light with the play calling. They ain't been giving him the option to really make plays down the field or utilize his legs to put the defense in a bad position. You must make the defense account for his legs at all times because I know how it is as a defender when you're guarding a receiver that's coming across your face, but you're also seeing the quarterback looking like he might take off or you don't know what he's going to do, so it kind of slows your reactions. And just that half a second, it separates people to make plays and separates, champions from chumps. Just a half a second, an inch. It's a game of inches. So they need to run more RPO. If we see some RPO, mark my words, if we see some RPO this game and give Justin to make some play action passes and fake to the running back and take off once or twice and utilize his legs and then get the defense thinking about his legs so he could play action and then bam, hit him down the field, we're gonna have some action. Now, they are playing in Vegas, home game for the Raiders. I live in Las Vegas. Already been seeing the black and yellow swarming out here. I ain't been seeing nothing but bees out here. It's been looking like killer bees out here. It's black and yellow everywhere. So they already let me know what's going on. They finna be heavy out here. The terrible towel is definitely in town. I've been seeing it. So with that being said, it's going to be like a home game for the Steelers as well. 50-50 on the crowd. Mike Tomlin, I like his coaching better than the Raiders coaching. Now, I do like the receiving core on the Raiders a little bit better, but the quarterback play, it ain't even a competition to me. I like the O-line, both ways. So let's go ahead and get them Steelers. Let's get some skrill right now. I'm going to go kind of heavy on this game. This is a game I kind of like a lot. I am going to buy a point to buy me a little bumper just in case it gets a little funny at the end. and or the Raiders, miraculously get ahead or whatever, and the Steelers got to try to make a comeback. But I know they'll at least give me a fight at the end, and their defense will definitely give me a fight to keep it right. So I'm gonna go ahead and sink in, get this cheese in, man. You know what time it is. Let's rock with them Steelers and get this Skriller. Black and yellow, black and yellow. I'm calling Wiz. If we win, I'm calling Wiz tomorrow. Let's go up. Next game. We got the Falcons at the Panthers. The Falcons are -6. The Panthers. Now, they got the new quarterback came in. He made a few sparks. The red rifle been out there, gunslinging a little bit, as you may call it or whatnot. But all BS aside, I'm going to just get straight to it. Falcons. Better defense. I like the coaching that's going on in the Falcons. I feel like they're trying to they really working hard to figure some things out. They don't got it all the way figured out yet. They don't got the bike fully ready to ride, but they putting the pieces together and they trying to get a smooth ride, get a nice little flow going. They trying to get their pedal right. So I'm going to go ahead and just rock with them. I know it's -6.5 a little bit. The Falcons are on the road, divisional game, normally a little bit tighter. What Vegas is saying that Falcons should be favored by 10. I feel like 10 will probably be a little bit too much, especially this year with the spreads. But let's go with Dirty Curdy. Let's get dirty with him. Let's go with Dirty Curdy, my first cousin. Let's get it. Kirk Cousins was buzzing. Let's make it shake for some cake. You feel me? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and snatch a point with that. Turn that to 5.5. We're going to rock with this Falcons. That's another one of my heavy straight-ups. All right. Next game, we got the Cowboys hosting them Lions. We got the Lions coming out of the D, going to the Cowboys, going to Dallas. Man, this game is probably going to be a barn burner. I'm going to let you know right now. I've been looking at this game both ways. When I first seen the spread, it was -3. I like the Lions. The Lions should handle their business. When you look at the Lions on paper, their defense been performing. D-line been going crazy. The secondary could be a little bit better, but they've been holding up at the right times. Offensive-wise, they've been running the ball like a good offense should, utilizing their play action with Jared Goff. Jared Goff been having a pretty decent year. His numbers been down a little bit, but that's because they've been running the ball more, utilizing clock control, which ain't a bad thing in the NFL. It's chess and not checkers. You got to really play the game right, because 1 or 2 mistakes and it's over, Rover. So with that being said, I'm looking at it. The Cowboys, their defense been a little shaky. They barely could contain the Steelers, and the Steelers ain't really been, putting up too much. Like I said, I feel like they've been holding the reins a little bit back on Fields, and they barely could handle them, So their defense has been a little shaky. I've been looking at their receiving core. I'm like, man, they got a couple, rookies stepping in. They got a couple dudes off the street that's been trying to show up, but really, they ain't really got shit but CD. You feel me? Lamb is the only one that's getting Lamb out there. So at the end of the day, Dak do his thing here and there, but I'm looking at this game. I don't think they really got enough. Like, I'm looking at the receiving core on the Lions. Look at the receiving core on the Cowboys. Look at the running back room. Running back room on the Cowboys. No brainer. Let's get this change in. I'm rocking with the Lions. I know it's going to be a barn burner. A lot of people probably going to be heavy on the Lions. And like I said, I do this for real. I'm not into weekly ups and downs. I might take losses here and there. I play for the long run. At the end of the season, I make way more money than I ever lost. And that's what this is about. You feel me? Like, it's about making money in the long run. So sometimes you're going to have to go to battle. You know, you're going to have to go guns blazing. You know what I mean? You're going to have to be all in like Nipsey Hussle. And this weekend, we're going to rock with them Lions. -3. This is probably one of the best spreads you're going to get on the Lions. Or is you going to have to sweat? Could the Cowboys come out here and shock the world and upset a lot of people? Yes, they can. But we sliding with these Lions until the day they dying. Lions -3. Let's get it. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the New York Giants. Man, the G-men on the low been kind of surprising people on the low, especially as far as the spread go. But they ain't been winning no games. Another thing, they haven't been scoring touchdowns like that. They've been a lot of field goals, even when they move the ball down the field. You know, they've been getting a few turnovers here and there, but still, even with their turnovers, they still kicking field goals on turnovers. That's demoralizing to your defense. You know, you start to lose confidence, especially if you got somebody pounding you all game, scoring back to back. You know, after a while, you start to lose that confidence. But their defense is a lot better than people know. That D-line get after you. They got a couple pieces out there in the secondary, you know, so don't sleep on them. Do not sleep on them. But with that being said, even though the Bengals been playing down a little bit, I feel like this is one of those games you could tease either way and be okay as you pair with another team that you like. I feel like it could be a tight game, but honestly, I'm taking the Bengals. They should respawn right here. I like, even though they ain't win the game against the Ravens, I like how the Bengals been looking these last couple weeks compared to the first few weeks. I know they understand what's on the line right now. They know their season on the line. They know that the AFC is tough, and everybody's still winning games. People taking a loss or two here and there, but they ain't been losing as much as the Bengals. So the Bengals got to show up to work with them briefcases. They got to come in with them boots and them hard hats tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead, yank them up, buy a point. Bengals -2.5. Let's get this bread. Let's get this cash. Last game on the slate. We got the Bills at the Jets. We got your boy Josh Allen playing OG A-Rod. What's happening? What's happening? That Jets defense is real serious. That's what's happening. I'm trying to tell you that Jets defense is serious. D-line get after you. Linebackers love to move around and hit. DBs could shut down pretty much any offense, especially man-to-man. Like, they really got the defense to play man-to-man almost against any offense. So it's going to be a barn burner. Now, the Jets did lose their coach. Head coach, defensive coach, though. I don't know what this is going to do to their defense. They still got the players. I don't know who was calling the plays, or I don't know who designed the plays, even though another coach might have been calling it. Because sometimes the head coach, it might be the head coach playbook, but he got an offensive coordinator to call the plays during the game, but he's using the head coach's playbook. These are what he drew up. You feel me? They just calling it at certain points during the game. So I don't know how this is going to affect. Now, there is such thing is called, and all bettors know, you know, a little new coach bounce. I don't know about this game. I feel like, I don't know how they felt about this coach. I'm not sure if they liked him or if they didn't like him. I don't know if he was the problem. I don't know what it is. I feel like, honestly, the Jets needed time to get their chemistry together. A-Rod wasn't there during training. They also could use another piece, Devontae Adams. I mean, you know, but he ain't going to be there this week. So it's going to be a tight fight. Now let's go over to the Bills. The Bills, they've been kind of getting the skrill, but they took a couple punches on the chin running into some real tough teams. some actual complete teams that will play a complete game with you. So with that being said, I've been looking at their offense and it kind of sputters at times because they don't got as many weapons. They don't got Stephon Diggs no more. They don't got a couple other pieces no more. Their running backs already were kind of shaky to me, you know? So Josh Allen ain't looking all as confident as he used to, but he do play a little bit more contained. He don't throw as many interceptions and throw as many wild plays, random just, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to do anything. He don't, he been kind of a little bit more contained. So I've been liking how he been playing more this year. So I'm going to tilt my hat to him, tilt my hat to you, Josh. But I don't know if you really got the firepower to separate a lot from this defense. So I expect it to be a tight fight. Now, overall, the Bills have been playing a little bit better, more consistently. I really don't feel too heavy on either one of these teams this game, so I'm probably not going to bet it. If I had to bet it and you just putting my feet to the fire, there's a gun in my head and I got to make a decision, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Bills. Bills cover. What's up, Benny the Butch? Benny the Butch. Call the Bills and let's get all the skrill, man. I'm going to put something light, but I'll probably put the Bills in the teaser. I feel like you could tease this game either way. I feel like Vegas has this spread about right. I feel like offensive, defensive, all the matchups wise, and then the coaching matchups, the Bills probably have the edge in the coaching a little bit. Jets got the defense a little bit. So we'll see how this one turns out. I'm probably going to watch this and I won't go too heavy. But, thank you for locking in, tuning in to another show. Vegas, though, let's make this show. I'm still tuned in. Come holla at me on IG. You can holla at me on Facebook. You can holla at me on the YouTube. I do read the comments or whatever. I will be answering questions. Anytime you want to tap in, let's go ahead and have some conversation and talk about how we could get a lot of cake in. It's your boy, Vegas Doe, week 6. Let's get this scritch and make this show. Holla at me.